Welcome back to SEC Football Addiction Sports Talk. Jay on with us. Jay, Tennessee's Joey Aguilar files a lawsuit in Knox County where Nico won his battle. We're playing the home field advantage game here, huh?
Well, it's almost where Nico won his battle. He won his battle in Greenville, Tennessee, which is about an hour away, which is my hometown. And the judge there lives in Greenville as well. This judge lives in Knox County, which is even closer to the University of Tennessee, and he graduated from Tennessee. So this was the smart move. They brought in this attorney his name's Cam Norris. He's a guy that actually won the case up in Greenville for Tennessee and for Nico. And he also has appeared in front of the Supreme Court, so he's not your regular attorney. This is a big dog. And Tennessee has quit playing games. I don't know why Joey didn't do this months ago.
Yeah.
But he was probably so focused on trying to win, he didn't want to get into all this. But now they're getting real serious. He wants to come back.
The argument, for those that maybe haven't seen, which I did a video on this, and I'll link that at the end if people want to go check that out. But the argument is essentially, hey, my JUCO years don't count. And the legal loophole is that according to the NCAA's rules, it only specifies the time they enroll at an NCAA institution, which the NCAA is not over JUCO. Like, that's a completely different, it's not quite like NFL to college, but like it's a completely different entity. It's not FCS to FBS, right? Which is all still under the NCAA. The JUCO championships are not an NCAA sanctioned event, right? And so to me, the loophole is logical. And I try to look at this. I like Joey. I like Tennessee just because we do stuff. But I try to look at this very unbiased. But to me, that is a very logical loophole that I don't think the NCAA can explain. Like, I don't think they can defend themselves on that because they are two separate entities. And you can't tell somebody in America that they don't have a right to work. There's no case precedent that I think would hurt Tennessee here. Like, I think this is it would surprise me if Joey doesn't win it. I'm not trying to sell hype or, TJ said it's definitely going through, because you never know in the courts. But to me, it feels like this is a pretty good angle.
Yeah, he's basically doubled his odds is what he's done. He still could win the Diego case, even though he's dismissed from that, because if the federal judge goes ahead and gives blanket immunity to the JUCO guys, that would spread into him.
Right.
But what it also does, if he can just get a temporary restraining order, not unlike the Charles Bediako kid got, he's golden, because that would be enough to get him through the season, because you know how these legal things last forever.
It'll be 2 years before it's actually decided.
Exactly. So he's basically doubled his pleasure on this one, not unlike Wrigley's gum, and he's got a double shot at it. But on top of that, this judge lives in Knoxville, all right? What are the odds that he's going to say, you know what, even though Diego Pavia got the extra year, and there's that precedent that I could obviously lean on, and the NCAA doesn't control JUCO, and the 4-year deal and all of that, I think I'll not let Joey play this year, and I'm going to live in Knox County and, go to church and, hang out at the country club with all my buddies, and I'm sure they're going to love me for this.
Yeah.
Human beings are humans, and the guy graduated from UT. I'm not saying that he's not ethical. He's probably super ethical. It'll probably be a struggle for him if it's close call. I just don't think it's a close call given the circumstances of everything that's happened with Diego, the fact that JUCO has nothing to do with NCAA, and the Antitrust Act, that you cannot make money at JUCO. This is his opportunity to make money, and he's not used his 4 Division I years. I think it's a slam dunk, but Mike Zenith of CBS Sports is the guy that said, it's not looking good for Joey. This was about 2 weeks ago.
Is there cautious optimism around Tennessee fans? Are they trying to not believe it, or do they think, or is it just like blind fanaticism of like, dude, we got this. Like, what's the mood?
I think it's turned very positive now. It was very negative after the Mike Zenith thing, and it was negative at first. Now, I will tell you, I have been super positive on it from day one. I've been the Pied Piper on this from day one. I mean, as soon as I saw what happened to Diego, I was like, he's in. This should be a slam dunk, no question. And I have taken a lot of grief over that. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be eating a lot of crow because I've been saying this for months. And I sometimes I got to eat a big old dish of crow, but I don't think I will on this one. I think everybody's feeling really good about his opportunity.
What's the difference between this one and the Diego one? Why was the Diego one such a slam dunk? Why did he, like, were there a number of years different, or what was the situation with Diego that this one's not the slam dunk?
It's virtually identical. What you had was 2 years. Diego was at 2 years of JUCO. Then he had been 2 years at New Mexico State and 1 year at Vanderbilt. So that was 3 Division I years, even though he'd played 5. And the judge said, look, he hasn't used up his 4 Division I years. He's got an opportunity to make money. You're trying to keep him from making money. In JUCO, they can't. Therefore, it flies in the face of Antitrust Act, the Sherman Act. And then on top of it, his position was, this is a high likelihood of success, so I'm going to go ahead and give him the restraining order. And then the NCAA went, oh, crap. Not only is he giving him the restraining order, he's pretty much told him he's going to win. So what they did, they punted. They've got good attorneys, and the attorney said, we're going to lose this. Here's what we need to do. Let's completely back off. Let's give everybody 1 year, all the JUCOs 1 year, and let's blame it on the virus. Let's blame it on COVID. That way, nobody can say anything, and then Diego will have his 4 years. He can go the hell on up to the NFL, and we're back to square one. Because when the judge tells you that the plaintiff has a high likelihood of success, he's pretty much laid his cards out there. You're going to get your butt kicked, NCAA. Just know that. Same thing happened in Greenville.
So it was actually, like you said, they had good attorneys. It was actually smart, because had they lost, then now what'll happen is if they continue to fight Joey, which I imagine they will, but if they lose that, then it is settled for everyone. And I think it sets a precedent. I think that's what they tried to avoid in the Diego thing. They didn't want to set a precedent. So if you just back down and you don't lose in court, once one loses in court, that's the precedent of the land, right? Unless it gets overturned somewhere else. So smart by them, obviously shiesty, not letting the players do it, but smart by them to not do it. How do you, I talked about this, and maybe Tennessee fans care about this to some extent. Maybe they're just more focused on the here and now. What I wonder is if Joey was to win, right, and not maybe win by default or the NCAA backing down or anything like that, if he was to win and a new precedent was established, I feel like that could pretty fundamentally change some aspects of high school recruiting. And I talked about this in the video that I did on it yesterday, that I do think it's a double-edged sword. Yes, it would be really good for Joey and really good for Tennessee this year, but does that mean that less of the 17, 18-year-olds out there are going to get offers because you can go get a kid that's already been developed in a college system, though it's a JUCO system? Would we see JUCO recruiting ramp way up, and will guys have to take that path more? Now, a Jeremiah Smith or somebody that isn't obviously a freak day one, yeah, it's not going to impact them. But I think this could pretty fundamentally change how high school recruiting happens, because why would you go get a 17-year-old project when you could go get a 20-year-old that's been playing for 2 years?
Yeah, the answers on that are yes and yes. Absolutely. The high school players are the ones that are going to get creaked on this. There's absolutely no question about it, for multiple reasons. Not only the JUCO, but also the fact that people don't want to pay these 17-year-old these people that prima donnas that think they're all this in a bag of chips, and then pay them $1 million to sit their butts on a bench for a year or two. And then as soon as they get good, I'm going in the portal. I'm going to get the real money now.
Texas Tech or Miami.
Yeah, thanks for raising me. Thanks for putting 20 pounds of muscle on me and showing me how to play football so I can go and share my talent somewhere else. I'm telling you, the recruiting thing, I'm backing off that big time. If I'm a coach, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to go with the Kurt Signetti thing. I'm going to go pay big money for production.
Yeah.
And forget all this potential crap.
Yeah. And I think if somebody has had, not that there aren't rotten eggs in JUCO, but if somebody has gone through 2 years of junior college and gone through 2 years of, because that ain't about the glitz and glamour. Like, that ain't about the SEC and the Big Ten and the paychecks and the NIL. If they've gone through that, if I'm a college coach, I love that. Bring that on. I mean, not only from a physical standpoint, but also an emotional, a maturity level. Like, if you can do 2 years at JUCO, you can do 2 years in Knoxville, Tennessee, with all the benefits that in Tallahassee, Florida, and Gainesville, and all these other places, the benefits that come along with that. So I do think it's going to change recruiting. Are there any concerns about the judge having to recuse himself? We talked about that with the Charles kid from Alabama. Obviously, that was talked about with the Duke Mensa thing, although that never went to trial or in court. He was a basketball, season ticket holder. The guy in Alabama was a donor. Are there thoughts that the Tennessee judge will have to do that too, or no?
Not right now, because the guy that the Charles Bediako judge had given over $100,000 to the athletic department and was a season ticket holder. I don't know that this guy is any of that. He did graduate from UT, but here's the problem you get into. Anybody that's a circuit judge in a county has probably gone to the local university or has attended a local university, and it gets really difficult to get a judge that hasn't. Like every judge in Alabama has pretty much gone to Alabama Law School. They couldn't find a judge that didn't. So when they switched to another judge, this guy graduated from Alabama, but he wasn't a ticket holder and he hadn't donated a ton of money.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, you're not going to file, and obviously that's why Joey filed there, right? There's a reason he didn't file this court case in Oregon or Gainesville, right? Like somebody wearing orange and blue may not be as sympathetic, but even if they didn't, even if you found the judge in Knox, like didn't go to school there still are biases that exist because you understand what the university means to the city and ultimately the county that you're a judge in. So, I think it'd be pretty tough to find that. Well, I wonder how this turns out. I feel a lot more like you. I remember we talked in December, and you were very confident before even the bowl game that they would find a way to come back. This may be the golden ticket. This may be the way to do it. And again, I'm a little like you. I'm surprised that it is now, beginning of February, and this is just now happening as opposed to happening before. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this turns out his way, and then we have another program altering or a sport altering decision that changes the way that we do things here forever.
Yeah. I'd say you can almost. I'm at 90%. That's where I'm at.
I like it. Jay, where can people follow you? Where can they find your work?
Sports Talk Jay on YouTube.
Appreciate you, man. I did another video on this. I'll link it. You can click it on the screen right now. Jay, thanks for hanging out.
No worries.